Hey everyone, we're going to read a little bit more out of George Washington's Socks. Today we're going to be reading chapter 3. If you're watching these videos, drop me a line in the comments. I'm really enjoying getting emails and messages from you guys letting me know what you think of the book. So keep talking to me. All right, chapter 3. When do we go on the adventure? Katie asked impatiently. Well, this is it, Matt said, feeling a little embarrassed. Oh, Katie replied with a disappointed look. Suddenly, all the club members began to feel as embarrassed as their leader. When they had planned the camp out, it had seemed like it would be a great adventure, but now, looking around at Tony's backyard with the swing set and the car in the driveway, it didn't seem adventurous at all. Matt's face brightened as he looked past the yard and into the woods. You know, when we first planned this camp out, we were going to camp along the lake because it would be like Washington and his men camping alongside the Delaware River, Matt said, thinking out loud. That would have been great if our parents hadn't all said no, Q sighed. They said no to camping along the lake, but they didn't say no to taking a hike there, Matt pointed out. Well, I guess we can try and ask them tomorrow, Tony said as he watched the lights going off in his house. I wasn't thinking about tomorrow, Matt whispered. You weren't? Hooter whispered back, his mouth full of marshmallows. No, I was thinking about tonight. Tonight? Hooter, Q, and T, and Tony all repeated at once. It's going to be kind of hard to ask them tonight. Tony motioned to the darkened house. Looks like my parents have gone to bed. I think we should wait and get their permission. Every adult likes Tony in this book, by the way. What could be wrong with a little hike? Matt pleaded. Besides, it would be great for the club. We don't just want to read about adventures. We want to have them too. Some of those rebel soldiers were only a few years older than we are. Once they crossed the Delaware River, they had to walk for 9 miles in the dark in a snowstorm. And when they reached Trenton, they had to fight for their lives. Come on, Tony. Compared to a little walk along a lake is no big deal. I don't know, Tony hesitated. I don't want to get into trouble. Technically speaking, we aren't disobeying anyone, Q pointed out. Since none of our parents said anything about a hike, we don't know whether they would mind or not. Q rubbed his chin on just the way he had seen Sherlock Holmes do in a movie. Sherlock Holmes was Q's hero. What are they talking about? Katie whispered as she sat down next to Hooter. I'm not sure, Hooter whispered back, handing her a bag of marshmallows. But I think we're going somewhere. After a bit more discussion, it was decided that the club would extend their first adventure from the campout to a hike. And not just any hike, but a night hike along the lake. All they had to do was follow the path along Tony's woods. They had all been on the path before, but never at night. Tony seemed the most hesitant. I don't know if this is such a hot idea, he said. Don't worry, Matt tried to assure him. Your parents have gone to sleep and they'll never even know about it. He stood up. We'll leave the fire going for you, Katie. There are still some hot coals burning. You be a good girl and go to sleep in the tent. It's too dangerous for little kids out there. He pointed ominously in the direction of the woods. I'm not a little kid, Katie said indignantly. I want to go with the club. I want to go with you, Matty-O. Look, Katie, you can have that whole big bag of marshmallows all to yourself. You don't have to share them with anybody. Matt tried coaxing her, but Katie wouldn't budge. If you don't let me come, I'll go and tell Tony's mom and dad to call Mom and Dad. I'm going to tell them that you went on a hike to the lake and that you wouldn't take me, she countered. Matt let out a loud sigh. He knew he was beat. Okay, but if you act up even once, you're out of here. Understand? I don't think this is such a good idea, Q said, shaking his head at Katie, who scowled in his direction. What if she falls in the lake? Or what if she gets lost? Or what if she tells Tony's parents where we are? Matt interrupted. You have a point there, Q conceded. Then it's settled. We're all going, so let's put out the fire, Matt said, kicking some dirt over the still glowing coals. Everyone stood up and did the same. Katie grinned and fired her squirt gun at Q. Hey, he yelled, for it was a direct hit on his glasses. You better save your ammunition, kid, Hooter told her. You might need it for later on. Everyone began making jokes about Katie's vast array of weapons and how she would carry the club's arsenal in case of an attack. It was easy to laugh and joke in the safety of Tony's yard, but as they entered the woods, they soon grew quiet. It sure is dark in here, Katie whispered. And that's the end of the chapter.